Oh.
Hello and welcome out to Escape Pod. I'm your host, David Anthony, along with Tony Brown. Tony, how you doing, buddy?
I'm so excited. It's been a long time since we've done this.
It has been a while. It has been a while, but we have got two of our favorites with us tonight. We've got the one and only PJ Starks and Eric Huskisson. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's going on? Hey, real quick, I want to throw this out there. That's probably one of the most urban sounding openings for two of the whitest guys I know.
Oh, you like that music? Did you?
I enjoyed it. I was over here.
I didn't like it. I'm just saying it was very urban.
My wife goes, "Were you listening to music?" I was over here just going to town with it.
Is this better?
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Time for the purge. All right. So PJ did say he was going to kill himself earlier, so this ought to be a good show.
Yeah, Tony. It has been a long time, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, but well, you guys you were privileged enough to have Tony Brown on your set.
Yes,
we were.
New movie, so that's pretty awesome. I have to admit that. I'm pretty jealous.
That's fun.
So
I enjoyed it.
He looked bored, but it was a long time. It was several hours.
Was
so
it?
I can understand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were there for
that was a long day.
Yeah, you were there for, I would say, close to 6 or 7 hours.
Oh,
yeah. There were a couple of group of people you could tell they were like, "Can we leave, please?"
Oh goodness. All right. Well, I just want to say, let's say welcome out to everybody that's here. We got right now over 8 people, and there'll be more and more piling in. There may be a few people that are used to me doing some gaming stuff, which I still do gaming stuff. But this is actually on Escape Pod, which is another part of our podcast that we do, which we cover entertainment and all kinds of good stuff. And right now we have got 2 very entertaining gentlemen. PJ and
no
Eric,
pressure.
It is really cool to have you guys on here. I just want you to know that, like I said, we've known you guys for a long time, and you guys have been really a pillar in the community and doing some amazing work. And I love that you guys are able to do a passion that you guys wanted to do for a long time, and now you're really getting to see it grow and go in different directions. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
To get things started, I want to kind of talk just briefly, and when I say briefly, I mean briefly.
He's talking to me. I know.
Yeah. Man, long-winded. I mean, PJ went long-winded. I'm just kidding. No, but what I want to mention and talk about is I guess Blood Moon Pictures and how kind of the synopsis, I guess, of how you and Eric decided to, you're both very passionate about making movies, and then you formed this wonderful, I guess, company to where you guys are able to make movies and stuff. And then it's you guys have been doing this for a little while now. So how did you guys come together, and how did that happen?
So the long and the short of it, I've been doing this seriously locally since 2008, and then in 2013. Occasionally, I don't, not so much anymore, but at the time I was doing like some commercial work and stuff like that. I'd started an event at the library called Unscripted. We did a zombie night, and Eric showed up that night. It was the first time I met him. And then I got to talking to him about this upcoming video that I was going to be doing for WBKR, which is a local radio station for those of you who aren't from Owensboro. And it was for a zombie run they were doing. So ultimately, he came and he was a zombie in that video because I really liked the makeup and stuff that he had done.
Mhm.
And then from there, actually, it was right after we shot that video. He and I were talking, and I said, "Hey, I'm also I'm helping out the film festival at Scarefest in Lexington, like co-coordinating it. Is that something that you would be interested in helping me with?" And he said yes. So then we went and spent a weekend, and we hung out, and we became very quick friends after that. And then through Unscripted at the library, that landed the feature anthology, Volumes of Blood. And from there, I was writing, producing, I directed one of the segments. Eric came on, and he wasn't producing, but he was extremely helpful. And he basically was doing a lot of production work and behind the scenes and stuff like that. And then because Volumes of Blood, which is kind of the project, I guess, that put me ultimately on the map initially, he and I decided, you know what, let's do a partnership. And Eric, I'll let you take it over from there.
Well, first of all, some of that story is true. Some of it's a little off. But anyway.
Just go with it, Eric. Let's go.
I left out the part where we were mostly in the nude when we were hanging out on the weekends, but I figured I'd just leave that detail
is where
out.
the interview derailed. Excellent.
Yeah, basically, to where we got to the point, last thing he said is true. Some of it's a little bit off. I think it's not a big deal. But yeah, on Volumes of Blood, after we had done all the stuff and went through Scarefest, I was like, dude, you're doing a movie. You got to let me help. I'll do whatever. And he was really reluctant at first to let me do anything. He didn't know me. He knew what he could do and not do. And I just kept begging, and he slowly let me do more and more. And he finally got comfortable with me doing stuff because he got to trust me to get it taken care of. And then, like, when we decided to go ahead, and I think I had suggested the name Blood Moon Pictures. We went through some. He liked it. There were others we threw out there. And he kind of came out with the design. And we started Blood Moon Pictures December 15th, 2015. We just wanted to be a little bit more legit and be a little bit more protected, I guess, with some things that can or can't happen on set at times. And then we went full-fledged with Volumes of Blood Horror Stories, and it just stream-rode through that and went into 13 Slays, and now beating the door down at the end of New FEARS EVE.
Excellent. Thanks, guys, for keeping that under 10 minutes. I appreciate that. I'm just messing.
Oh, one other thing. No,
it was a chore.
Oh my God.
It was a chore.
Oh, it's so sweet. So anyway, then that was also their website, which is bloodmoonpictures.com. And all the links to all of the site, the Indiegogo, everything we're going to be talking about today are going to be in the description below. They're also going to be in the links for iTunes and for let's see, where the hell else am I going to be? Oh yeah, so iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. There we go. Whoo, I had to do that real quick. Awesome. All right, cool. So and let me put up the other one here. So what we're basically here talking about, we're going to be talking about this new movie that you made. So it's New FEARS EVE, which is pretty awesome. And you guys, are both directing this, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Because we all here in this room know what a diva PJ can be. So I'm playing. That's why he's laughing.
And that's putting it lightly. My voice cracked.
Thus is the reason it's co-directed and not directed.
Excellent. Oh goodness.
So you guys just because you guys are both directing, how does that work? Are you guys just switching scenes?
Well, you may take this, PJ, or you want to?
Take it up to the point in which I approached you, and then I'll go from there.
Approached me? What do you mean? You about
on
me?
Where on the phone where things changed?
Oh, well, I mean, basically, PJ came to me about directing this, and the reason he wanted me to direct it because he didn't want to. He had all this other stuff that he felt like he wanted to focus on, so he didn't want to direct. So he asked me if I'd do it, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. I was like, but I don't know if it's going to work out or not because of certain things and the way he handles things and the way he does things. And he goes, oh, no, it'll be fine. You'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I'll always be there. And I'm like, well, my concern is this. And he's like, Alex will be there. I'll be there. And I was like, dude, I'm just telling you, I don't think this is going to go the way you want to. He goes, oh, it'll be fine. Is that where you want me to stop?
No, well, I mean, yeah, it's ultimately he is right. It's kind of twofold. It's not that I just didn't feel like directing. Producing has become kind of my favorite, I guess, gig when it comes to doing filmmaking, because I love collaboration, and with producing, you kind of have your hands in all the different areas, overseeing things, not necessarily always in control, but you are working with most everyone, or you're involved with most every department. So that collaboration is kind of where I feel like I thrive or have the most amount of fun. So yeah, whenever we were going into this project, I went to Eric and I said, I really don't want to direct. Do you want to direct this? And that's pretty much what he said. He was like, yeah, but he was hesitant because the most experience he's had was with the Scary Annette on 13 Slaves Till Christmas. And that was his first time really jumping into the director's seat.
And it was a short.
Writing and directing, right. And it was a short. And overall, he did pretty good, but he did lean on me and Alex quite a bit. And that was only because, he was getting his feet wet. He hadn't done it before. So you have to have that support. And we were there for him, and everything went fine. I mean, he was super stressed out about it, but ultimately you're only going to get better at something if you do it, if you get that experience. If you don't ever get that experience, you're going to stay stagnant. So going into this, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a big undertaking because it was the first time that we ever did something that was, the two of us together had done something that was a single feature narrative. So when I approached him, I can see where his hesitation was, because it's like, oh, I'm going to be helming this feature movie. But I wanted him to be able to get that experience and be able to just get it under his belt and do it. But what ended up happening ultimately was, so the first, I would say 3 or 4 weekends of filming, because we only film on the weekends, he was directing, but what would happen is a lot of the visuals were Alex, but I worked with Alex very closely as far as like how things could be shot, or very specific scenes and how they should be shot. Or I would come in and say, well, very specifically, I have this shot I would like to do. And then kind of let Alex take over, and because he was director of photography. So what would end up happening is I would come into the scene, and then I'm going through all the blocking with the actors, answering any questions they might have, because I'm like, okay, Alex, we're going to get this shot, and then we're going to go to this, and then this will be a dolly shot, and we're moving here. And of course the actors are right there. So I'm kind of running through the paces and setting everything up. And then I would step away, and then Eric would come in, and Eric would direct the scene. But what was happening is at first, if I was like there, the actors, because I set everything up, the actors would come to me instead of going to Eric, as far as like from a directing standpoint. Or if I would leave, I would get like a phone call, because Eric, and I don't feel like I'm speaking incorrectly when I say this, but Eric didn't have the vision for the film that I had in my head. So like if I was away from the set and Alex is like, okay, so what are we doing next? Eric would be like, and then he'd have to call me or come find me. And so by like the 4th weekend, we did have a couple actors that had come to us and say, yeah, I'm kind of confused as to who's directing. Is it you? Is it Eric? And honestly, it was both of us. So
Yeah.
What happened was I ended up calling Eric, and I said, look, you were right. Exactly what you said was going to happen happened. And that was that, people were going to get confused because we're both doing directing type capacities. But I was thinking, oh, it'll work out. It'll work itself out because then I'll step back and I'll let you take over. And at that point, I was like, well, we are both directing at this point, so let's just be co-directors. And he was like, yeah, that's fine.
And it isn't anything against PJ or anything against me. It was just PJ. It was his story. He had his vision. He knew what he wanted. And he would walk away. I'd go, what's next? And I knew as soon as PJ walked away, if I did these shots, he's going to come back. Well, where's this shot? Well, he didn't have a storyboard. He didn't give me a list of shots to do. So I knew what was going to happen. But it worked itself out, and we worked it out pretty good. And basically, I ended up, what I say is I basically directed the acting. PJ did a lot of the directing of all the special effects, is what ended up happening. But it was still him setting up the shots because it's the shots he knew in his mind how he wanted it to look. I mean, it's his script. It was his vision. So it was hard for me. We didn't sit down at the beginning and him go, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this for me to go by. And I knew, how arrogant he was, and I wasn't going to fulfill what he needed or wanted anyway. So that's how it ended up co-directing.
Basically, he was Tobe Hooper, I was Steven Spielberg, and this was Poltergeist.
Okay.
That's what ended up happening.
Well,
who really directed the movie?
Let's hope it brings in the numbers Poltergeist did.
You got that right. Way to spin that to a positive, David. Good job.
Well, I mean, in that same mind frame, mindset, sometimes I just make words up. If you read any of my scripts, you'll see that. But they used real skeletons in Poltergeist for a lot of those scenes, and we used real intestines for the special effects. So there you go.
Where'd you get real intestines? Or
yeah, we call
there's this guy we know. There's this guy we know that has goats. And
right, yeah, no, it was okay. So to clarify, it wasn't real human intestines.
Right,
it was pig intestines. But yeah, that's what. So we've done it before, where we're both real big advocates of practical effects. So like going into certain things, you can have fake intestines made, but fake intestines, no matter how you play it, almost never. Well, Tony, you're hosting the show now, so you've been promoted. You've been promoted, but yeah. So it's like no matter how you do it, the fake intestines never really truly look like real intestines. So for this promo shoot we did one time for a Volumes of Blood thing, I went out and just bought pig intestines and we used them, and they looked great on screen. So going into this, we did have some fake intestine use. But when we had to go back and kind of do some additional shooting, and then we had another death in the movie that involves intestines, I was like, let's just go get real intestines and just use real intestines. So I called up a butcher shop. I think it was called Beef and Bacon, I believe is what it was called. And went out there, purchased a 5-gallon bucket full of real intestines, called them up ahead of time. They had it waiting for us, went and picked it up. They said it was the first time anyone's ever called and said, hey, we need a whole bunch of intestines because we're shooting a film. So he had a bunch of questions as to what exactly we were making. And then we ended up using the real intestines. And I've been going through, because I'm editing right now, I've gone back and I'm looking at the footage. And Eric, I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I did go back and look at the intestine splatter shot that we seemed a bit, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
Skeptical about?
I don't know if skeptical is the word. Discontent.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to, I guess we both had like a way the intestines were going to look when they hit the floor. But since I've gone back and looked at it, it actually looks pretty damn good. So I'm happy with how it's turned out. But
we also used,
it's kind of hard to go wrong with real intestines.
Look, Turner Vaughn.
Yeah, we also used pig eyes. We used pig eyes. We had a pig head and pig kidneys that we used in Volumes of Blood.
Okay.
So we actually had a pig head.
Eric, hold on. We got a Spidey ring, whoever that is. Where do you get real intestines? That was a question from.
Right. It was a butcher shop. You just I had to call around a lot. I actually drove. It was a journey to find intestines. They used to sell them at Walmart packaged along with like tripe and the tongue and everything, but they've stopped selling it. So you can't just go buy intestines at Walmart anymore. So I had to start calling around, and the closest place I could find was this butcher shop that was out in Seabury, and I had to drive out there and pick it up. So
the pig head
and they were
out of
fresh.
this shop downtown.
Actually, we got it from a homeless man. No one will miss him.
I'm just gonna sit here.
You're fine. You're fine.
No.
I guess do you not have a headset? I guess you're open air, so it's probably just a little maybe a delay for you. Something I don't know. It's all good. Just relax. We're going.
What happened?
I'm fine.
Nothing. Everything's fine. My computer froze and that I came back. But since we have the wonderful technology we do, that Tony was able to handle the ship and we kept going. Yay!
Oh, we're still on.
30 seconds.
Like we have been. Yeah, we're good. That's so funny. Somebody. All right. So with that, what was that? I want to get this full screen, and we are going to go ahead and jump in and show the trailer that you have. And
Awesome.
So hopefully I'll play the audio to it, and hopefully I won't get a copyright strike from you guys.
We licensed the music, so you should be fine.
Sweet. That's always good to know. All right, here we go. Let's try this here. Okay. Yes, share audio. All right. You guys ready? Can you guys see it?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this sucks already, I can tell.
In my defense, I've been late. Besides, I've got a really good excuse this time.
We already know about your botched vasectomy.
You did go to a general practitioner.
The price was right.
You had a coupon.
As you know, I do the end of the year corporate call, and here's the long and the short of it. We're going to need to trim some fat around here.
What about tomorrow's New Year's Eve party? Cancel that.
I'm taking away people's jobs. I'm not going to take away their party. I'm not a monster.
Yeah, seriously, he's not like conniving, motherfucking limp dick piece of shit asshole.
There was a lot of specific in that.
Are you for real?
Mr. Dugan does not have a sense of humor.
Yeah, like that time last year that you joked there was an active shooter in the building.
That was not a joke. That was a drill. And we got to use the first aid kit, so it actually worked for the drill.
My resolution is to remain dick-free next year.
Weird. I had that same resolution.
Well, that confirms the rumors about you having no dick.
Party!
In an office.
Yeah, an office!
There's no better way to describe what happened, but I think I was being stalked last night.
By someone in all black? Like a crow costume?
Me too. Only I wasn't stalked, I was chased. We got a house of horrors in there. 3 to 4 dozen people dead. But there's no right way to say it. We got a serial killer on our hands.
Hey, buddy, you're not supposed to be in here this late. I don't know who you are. You have to come back during business hours.
Nice.
All right.
That was it.
That's all Felissa Rose in there.
Yep, that's the whole movie.
Mhm.
That was good.
You know everything that's going to happen in the movie now.
Well, you cut the trailer together. Whose fault is that?
Well, it's 2023. If you don't put everything in the trailer, what kind of trailer do you have?
Well, there you go. There you go. Like that. Welcome out everybody that's here watching us. If you do have a question or anything, please let us know. PJ, can you read the screen when I bring these up? Are you able to read those?
I was laughing at the question, not asking. That was funny.
And then here's
Hey, I saw you too, Turner.
We're actually taking Turner out of the movie. He doesn't realize that yet.
Oh,
You can't.
It didn't work once we started editing it.
I mean,
We're going to use a green screen and we're going to replace all of his shots with Jonah Hill.
I know that's not true because without Turner, you have no movie. Let's admit it. He's the star, the true star. Just kidding. Anyway, no.
He said it, Lily and Matthew, not us.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, yeah. He said, I'm getting an email tomorrow. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, you were supposed to find out early.
It won't be through email. I'll send it to you through Grindr.
Oh, God. Whole new meaning of the word casting couch. So anyway,
he's got a big following on Grindr.
Oh, sure. Wow. Well, before we get sued, let's move on. Tony, you want to ask a little bit about the Indiegogo campaign before we actually start showing on it, but let's you add your questions you had.
Yeah, well, it was, with the whole campaign going on, I noticed that you guys recently got another big addition with the guy doing the score. So how'd that come about? Because that's pretty big in the universe of movie scores there. I'm not going to butcher his name, so you guys can say
it. As PJ messes.
PJ leaves us.
No, I got a phone call.
Oh,
hilarious!
It's Joseph Renzetti.
Yeah,
Joseph Renzetti. He Basket Case, Child's Play,
Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker, yes. The Buddy Holly story, Elvis, which is the one that Kurt Russell with sorry, John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's worked with some big names. And he's the Academy Award winner for the Buddy Holly story. So yeah, he's a great guy.
That's awesome.
PJ, somehow he saw our stuff on social media and was intrigued by it, and somehow got hold of PJ. And PJ's like, dude, you're an Academy Award winner. We're just some small outfit. No one's broke Kentucky. We're low budget. And he's like, well, he goes, I think it's worth getting on the phone and talking. And so PJ contacted me, and I'm like, what? I'm like, why are we going to waste our time talking to him? He's an Academy Award winner. And we got on the phone with this dude. He was just awesome. He's super nice. Was just really energetic. Wanted to come help out and be a part of it. We talked stuff out, and he threw some stuff at us, and we were like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he sent us a contract. We went through it. We sent it back. He signed it. We got it back. We signed it, sent it to him. So he's locked in. He's just a super nice guy. And it was just somehow, I don't remember. PJ probably might remember exactly where he saw something about us to look up and contact PJ.
That's pretty cool.
Apparently, PJ had a better podcast to be on and has left.
No. He had a phone call. Sometimes that messes up when phone calls.
Oh, I know. So
yeah, you have to turn notifications off when
he does have some family stuff going on, so that could be something happening too. So
yep, totally understand that. We'll continue on, and we'll make the best of this. And when he comes back on, we'll add him back in. Not a big deal. So Eric, I guess one of the things that me and Tony were talking about here he comes. Oh, he's back. There he is.
Hey, sorry about that.
It's all right, man. It happens.
Leslie called me. It's my girlfriend.
She does every time you do a podcast. Every time.
Well, in her defense,
you would tell her. I think you would tell her by now.
In her defense, did not tell her about this one.
Did you tell her about the last one?
I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever. All right, David.
Look,
go ahead.
I got too much shit going on. I can't tell everybody everything all the time. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
we are live. Let's.
The narcissist has talked.
Alrighty then. So anyway, hi Tony, how you doing?
Good.
Tony Brown.
Hey,
Tony, this is going great. I'm just kidding.
I'm waiting for you guys to film a scene in the next movie where you just kill each other and get it over.
There you go. You don't need any effects.
We kind of did that in Volumes of Blood.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, there is a behind the scenes video with PJ and I that's going to be not killer in sense that Tony's talking about, but I think everyone will find hilarious. And not going to elaborate on it, but something PJ and I had to do. We had to do for the film, and we were like, "Hey, let's get a behind the scenes person to do the video us doing it." And I think it's going to be pretty hilarious once it's edited on the behind the scenes stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So Jesse McDonald or Jesse McDonald put up as like an old married couple. Yes.
Who's that? Jesse McDonald. PJ, is that?
Oh, he's a nobody.
He gave us $10, didn't he? Contributed
something like
that's
that.
That's who that is. Yeah,
something like that.
Ain't snay on the Eaton way when you're trying to raise money for your new movie. Hello.
Okay. Jesse Mack, he's our man. He's playing the doctor.
Yes,
Jesse Mack is the doctor. So yeah.
Well, you actually saw him in the trailer because he's the guy who goes in an office. Yeah, like that's Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we love Jesse.
One of the questions me and Tony wanted to bring to you guys. So what is it like? I guess because this is your first movie that you've done that you've had a budget. I mean, your first Indiegogo, you got what 30,000, 60? How did it go? How much did you bring in your first campaign, your Indiegogo for this movie?
I think we ended around. So there's fees.
Well,
so Indiegogo takes. So we raised in total. We raised, I would say, about 70, but after fees and everything, I think it ended up being like 64, 65, something like that.
And it's still good.
Yeah, I don't think it was that much.
Right.
Yeah, he's correct.
So I guess what me and Tony were wanting to know is so when you set back after that came in, you're like, now we get to make a real movie. I mean, what was that like for you guys? Give us a quick, for both of you, what was the best part about having a bigger budget this time than you've ever had before?
I mean, for
Eric, go first. Eric, tell me what.
Yeah, Eric, you go.
I actually I look at it in my point being more the business side of it. It takes a lot of the stress away.
Yeah.
We can sit down and look at what we got to do, and we're not like, oh, but we only have this to do this, and we only have this to do this. We can just sit down and just do it. And realistically, we only asked for 30,000 up front. Of course, we more than doubled that. But with doing that, the more money we have, the more creative we can be. PJ come up with more kills. We can spend more money on special effects. More scenes got added for more kills. We just amped up everything. There were characters added. So the money that was extra from that didn't come in and just sit there and like we're just sitting on it. We used that money to make things look better, which is, you've heard us talking a million times when we get on here. We want every film to be that much better than the last one. So we took that extra funds and used it to make this film be that.
Yeah, well, from what we've seen from the trailer and some of the behind the scenes photos, which we'll go through some photos here in a minute, it really looks like you guys have stepped your game up, and that's pretty awesome. So, PJ, what's it like? I mean, basically, this budget was more than all your budgets you've had in the last movies you guys have done together combined, right?
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah, it was. I mean, when we raising the funds was insanely stressful. Anybody who's done it can attest to the fact that it's you have to keep pushing and keep promoting, annoyingly so. I mean, I'm sure people on social media get sick and tired of seeing it constantly, and in some ways we're still having to do it because of this finishing funds campaign that we have going on right now. But when we finally got to the point where we raised not only the funds we knew we needed, but then knew we would be able to add all these bigger, better additional things. Funny enough, though, is at that point, once we started getting, there's the relief of, okay, so we're good for our initial budget, but then we're like, okay, now what can we do next? Then that adds additional stress because we're like, okay, now we got to make sure that we raise this much in order to be able to do this that we want to do. a majority of the kills were there. What happened is that we did a get killed in the film perk during the.
It's not here. Go ahead.
That wasn't here either.
That's right.
That was you talking about the ice noise in the background.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, was that what
somebody
that was?
That was somebody getting ice out of the refrigerator 25 feet away.
That's so funny. That's right.
Yikes!
Go
I
ahead.
thought somebody broke like a vase or something.
Sounded like.
So I completely lost my train of thought. But I guess ultimately, it was a relief, but then there was still all the extra added stress of trying to do, the getting killed. That's where I left off. So in the original script, there weren't as many deaths in the movie, but when we added the get killed perk, it became super popular. And by the time we were done with the first campaign, it added an additional 23 deaths to the movie.
Wow.
Awesome. Which here's the thing, I wasn't necessarily balking at it. Not at first. When we hit 19, I was like, okay, maybe. And then by the time we hit 23, we were both just like, okay, no more. We can't do it. We don't need to do any more. But I'm a huge gore fan, gore hounds. I love kills. Every movie we do, you can ask Eric. I'm always like, oh, let's do another kill. Let's figure out how we can make this kill even better. But that's what a lot of the additional funds ended up doing. It allowed us to take the kills that were there and make them either a little bit more elaborate or as good as we wanted them to be. And we got to add additional kills in the movie. So now the death count in the film is somewhere between 40 and 45. So it's definitely a huge body count. And, but then the funny thing is that even though you're like, oh, okay, that's awesome, we got all the funds we needed, you really, the celebration is momentary, because right after that, it's right back into logistics because you're producing. So it's like, okay, well, now that first weekend we're filming, we have 3 celebrities coming in. And not only do we have 3 celebrities, but we're doing a New Year's Eve party. So we give everybody an opportunity, because there wasn't really going to be an opportunity for anybody to sit down and just hang out with Jeffrey or Dave or Felissa while we're filming. And they're only here for 2 days. And that was the bulk of them being on set. So we decided to go with this big New Year's Eve party on Friday. Well, then that ended up kind of becoming a pain in our ass, because we loved it for everybody who was a part of the film, because they got an opportunity to kind of just let off steam and hang out with, and that includes our cast and our crews. Like, everybody kind of got to hang out, and that was cool. Like, I enjoyed that part. But the entire time that Eric and I were there, not only are we running around like chickens with our heads cut off, just making sure that the event is going okay, very next morning, first thing at like 8 o'clock, we're on set and we're filming all day long.
Yeah.
So we never really got a chance to relax or blow off steam or feel that relief or anything, because it was constant go, go, go. But I will say, when we were loading up onto set, for me, and seeing everything that we had planned for like the past, year and several months start to really coalesce. And now we're on location, and we're setting the equipment up, and we're getting everything ready for effects. And like, for me, that's when I started to smile and started to get super excited, because now we're on set and we're getting ready to pull the trigger and make this thing. So that, for me, that was like the moment where I was like, okay, now I'm a little bit relaxed. This is going to be a blast. Then we had 30 extras come on set, and we had to place all them in this room, and we had to do this scene with Dave and Felissa and Jeffrey. And then my stress level like skyrocketed back up, and I was having like sweats and everything. It was a lot of fun.
Old hat for you, though, right? There you go.
Yeah.
So, how excited was your special effects team that you got to give them a little bit more budget to work with?
Right. They when they pretty much were. Can I talk now, PJ?
No.
Can I go off on a tangent too? Just check it. Yeah, PJ.
If you would say something interesting, then yes.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, before you answer that question, I want to get to this. We have a $20 super chat, which is important that we read. So we have a Spider Ring donated $20. Thank you so much for doing that. Great interview so far. Very informative and funny. Yes, they are.
Cool.
Yes, they are.
Now, does that $20 going to you, or is that $20 going to our project?
Well, we'll talk later. So anyway, also we have
thanks for nothing, Spidey Ring.
We have Courtney Mangold said that perk was my favorite. Talking about the one where you got to be dead, be killed on stage. Yeah.
Dead.
All right, it was so much fun killing all those people. Just clicked on it again, and then let's see, and then we have Love the Grunge. It says love the shirt, Eric. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
There you go. All right. So make sure we got those in. So Tony, ask your question again to Eric directly, and then he can answer the question within 3 minutes so we can move on. Let's go.
Yeah,
I have a time limit.
But I was just wondering like how excited the special effects team got, because since you guys got a bigger budget, you obviously kick that towards them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So and with the 23 extra kills.
Yeah, well, PJ pretty much delegated that with Stephen Hockey, who out of the Northern Kentucky area. Him and Blaze and Issa were the three main special effects people that we had come in. And I'm not sure of the excitement. I know when they got on set, they were excited to do it. But, I mean, it was like, once PJ gave it to him, it was like, well, we're going to need this, we're going to need that, we're going to need this, and we're going to need this one. If you want us to do this, we're going to need this. You can send this to me because I got to do that here, but then you can keep this here. And so I think they were just more excited that whatever PJ told them we needed, we were supplying the stuff to them, not like they were having to come up with it on their own, because there was a lot of detailed stuff that they had to do, a lot. And bye, honey. Love you. Sorry about that. But I mean, those three got on set, and it was just great to be able to give them everything they needed to have them make it look like we wanted it to look. And those three worked really good with all the stuff they did together. And it was just great to be able to buy the stuff, because there was some stuff Stephen would come up, well, I could do this and I could do this. And with the extra money, PJ would get online and find a prosthetic or find a piece that and a lot of times he'd call me, he's like, okay, you remember that kill I told you about? Here's my idea. He goes, I found this thing online. And I'm like, how much? I just know when he starts doing that conversation, it's me, how much? And so he would tell me, and then I would go, okay, so explain that. So, I mean, that's where a lot of, and I'm sure they were excited with the extra higher priced items to be added to them to work with. So I don't ever remember them like going, oh, hell yeah, let's do that. But I just know that when they were on set, they couldn't wait to do what they wanted to do, that they needed to do.
So, all right. So who was your effects team this time?
Stephen Hockey, Issa, I'm trying to think of Issa's last name, Blaze. They're both Morales, Issa Morales. And what was Blaze? Bolden, thank you. Good job. They all are in Northern Kentucky, right across the river from Cincinnati, basically. And they've done a lot of indie horror in the Louisville area, their area. And they've won awards for, well, I know Stephen has. I'm not sure about Issa and Blaze. But he's won awards and some stuff that he's done.
Cool.
And he just got announced doing special effects in another film I saw coming up. So
yeah,
the Haunted House of Pancakes, I believe is what
it's the Haunted House of Pancakes. Right.
Jesse McDonald put up Stephen is the MacGyver of gore.
Yes, he had some stuff up under his sleeve that I was like, that's cool as shit. And can't really tell you because you'll see it on screen. But
nice.
I was pretty fascinated watching them do all the things that they did.
All right, cool.
Yeah, real quick, I want to interject this about Stephen and Issa and Blaze. So even though we did ultimately have more money, I guess, to throw at the special effects, I mean, the movie, all in all, was a $70,000 movie. So they're still pulling off 40 kills by the skin of their teeth. Because that's what the one thing about this film is that one of the things that I'm not a big fan of are the cutaway kills, to where it starts to show a kill, then you cut away, and then it comes back and you show the aftermath. So we wanted to show, and inevitably you have to do that, but we wanted to show as many of the kills. So a majority of the deaths in the movie are not only all practical, they're almost all on screen. And I mean, you see everything. So they had to be really inventive with what little money they had to pull these effects off and still make them effective. And they did. And as far as their excitement level, I know that first weekend, especially with like Issa and Blaze, they'd never worked with us before. So I think there was a little bit of uncertainty because they weren't really sure like how we ran our set or what type of artists we were or how we did things. But I know by the time that they left, you could tell that they were much more comfortable and a lot more excited. And whenever we're pulling off the effects, especially me, like when an effect, I'm watching the screen, and when I see an effect, take off and like do exactly what I was hoping it would do, I'm like a kid on Christmas. I'm like, fuck yes, and I'm super excited. Nice. And I could see them get really excited when we would get excited about a kill.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because like I said, even the trailer, he shows some pretty good effects, and I know it just scratches the surface of what you're able to pull off.
Oh yeah. In all honesty, the trailer doesn't really show you anything as far as like the blood and gore goes. Just wait until you see the movie. I can say this: I have the first 10 minutes edited, and in the first 10 minutes, there's 7 kills.
Nice.
And they're all individual, and they're all on screen, and they're all practical.
Yeah, it was really good getting to know Steven and Issa and Blaze. We'd worked with Steven on a short for 13 Slaves, but it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and 8, like Dave, you were there. Him and Rob set up. They were the special effects guys for what was it, PJ, the Dismember.
Right? Yeah, A Christmas to Dismember.
Yeah, Christmas with the ambulance and stuff. Steven was there with Rob, so it was great having them come in so many times. And we'd already met Steven, and we just met Issa and Blaze. So getting to sit and talk to them, like I said, more comfort level with all of us getting along, because PJ and I are always running around with our heads cut off trying to get stuff taken care of and done. So it was good to have them around so much to get to know them and get to know Steven better and get to know Issa and Blaze. They're a lot of fun to work with.
Awesome.
And super talented.
We're jumped in onto your Indiegogo campaign page, and the link is in the description below. And it'll also be in the description either on YouTube and or wherever else you get to watch this. Even if it's on audio only, you'll be able to actually click on the link and get right into the Indiegogo campaign, because it's only got a little bit left, but you need to jump on. They're really close to their funds. It's for it's 10,000 was the flex goal for this one, because they did add in the Academy Award winning composer for the soundtrack. It's going to be awesome, man, to have that kind of that level of which you've never had before, let's be honest, in any of your films. So it's worth dipping back in the till, getting a little bit more to finish this off the way you really want to, because that was an expense you didn't even weren't planning on at all.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Already,
but it's also an opportunity that we could not pass up.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. No, I trust me, I get it, and that's why we want to help you guys hopefully get over the hump. So let's talk about some of your perks. Right off the bat, you've got the autographed film score, which is obviously going to be pretty cool with him with the contribution he's going to make to it. And then that's $75, and you've got a few of those. You get 7 of those left. So which is pretty cool, and it is a $75 pledge for the campaign, but you're going to get the film score, and it's going to be autographed. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, right. To bring that to light too, those that are all of those, he's actually burning himself.
Oh, cool.
And then he's actually making them and autographing them himself. It's not something we're having like mass produced at all.
Right.
This was something he's going to do, and he's going to burn it, and he's going to
So
send
they're
them
going
to
to be
us.
extremely rare.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
when you
it'll,
see
it'll,
the
yeah, it,
classic someday.
you hit the nail on the head with that one. They're probably 10 of the rarest things that we have attached to the project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty.
he's going to
that's
do it
pretty
in his studio, and he's going to sign it and get it to us to get to people. So,
And 75 is a very reasonable price for what you're going to get. And like I said, like your other films, I think this is going to end up being a cult classic in the long run for sure. And having that piece of memorabilia is really something cool. I mean, Academy
Absolutely.
Award winning, you can't beat that.
Agreed.
Let's jump down to something that's a little more, I guess, what we call affordable for a lot of people. And you've got a bunch of these left. I mean, let's be honest. Different people have budgets of all different kinds, so every little bit helps, no matter how they can do it. And that,
Absolutely.
the more you sell, the more you're going to go. But you have all different kind of levels of perks, which I really like. You have the Hooper Incorporated employee badge for $10. That's just $10, and you have roughly about 50 of those left, a little less than 50 of those left, and that's actually the badges that the cast wore when filming, correct?
Right. Yeah, it's all the employees of Hooper Industries. So they're screen worn. We kind of look at them as like collector cards.
Yeah.
I mean, we only had so many made, and we also have them. They were all left over, right? So we had to do something with it, and it's just, once again, it's just something cool that we can put out there, because ultimately it's better to get it into the hands of someone who would think it would be cool and to collect it and have it versus it just sitting in a tote in my basement.
Exactly.
So we thought it was something that somebody might think is pretty cool.
And then you also have, I guess, was it the digital film soundtrack?
Right.
For $25. That's pretty good, and you have pretty much unlimited use on those because it's digital, so that's going to be easy to send out to people. But still, the only way to get it is through this campaign. You can't get it off your store shelves. You can't go to iTunes or anything like that and get it. So this will be the exclusive way to get it, and that's kind of cool, I think, too, that you have that available. It's only $25. Of course, your nemesis in this one is your shape in this one. I guess it's called the Doctor,
right?
To go by a cliche. And you have the Doctor T-shirts, which these are exclusive for the final campaign, correct? For the wrap up campaign, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So and it's the actual the Doctor.
I'm super excited about those shirts. I can't wait to get one
really
myself.
Good.
Yeah,
exactly.
They came out. Sean Burkett, who's also a filmmaker, he designed the logo and everything for the shirts. He made the Don't Fuck in the Woods movies. He made Stranded, which right now is just like killing it on the festival circuit, getting all kinds of awards. So he ultimately did the design for that T-shirt, and he killed it, for the lack of a better non-cliche phrase.
And those what sizes are you able to get those in? Do you know?
All sizes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So like $30, you put in your size, and I guess you'll make those as you go. So in other words, it's not really a limit on those, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's good. So if you want one, get one, because after this campaign's over, you won't be able to get them anymore. So we definitely want to get them now, and they're only $30, and you get this really cool ass shirt. I'm wearing one of their older shirts. This is actually. Yay! It is a Blood Moon Pictures shirt that was given to me by those two wonderful gentlemen that were interviewing today, and I love it. It's high quality, really good shirt, and it holds up. So definitely for $30, guys, you can't beat it. If you're a horror movie fan and you want to start a conversation, what is this movie? You'll tell them all about it. Then, of course, you got the Blu-ray, which is really cool, a limited edition Blu-ray, and I believe you have a digital poster with that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And it's just $40. That is a steal for the Blu-ray and the digital poster. And I admit, I think me and Tony both have the collection of Blu-rays from your previous films, and we love those, especially with the hidden stuff behind the scenes, all that kind of cool stuff that'll be included with these. So, I mean, I know you guys go all out, and because both of you are big horror fans from way back. So you guys, know what you liked finding on like a DVD when you would put it in. So you like doing those things with your own product to make that experience for those people as well.
Well, it's no secret that I'm a physical media collector.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
go.
Whenever
I don't know how
we do,
people would know that.
I don't either. But yeah, whenever we do these, and I'm also huge on like special features, so I always try to jam pack the special features, put as many on there as we can. There's always leftovers, unfortunately, that we can't like fit on the disc because it's too much space.
Yeah.
We had a few of those with 13 Slays Till Christmas, but I can say that of all of our movies up to this point, 13 Slays has the best hidden Easter egg special feature of all the movies. Unfortunately, we don't have one as epic as that one. But
and who filmed that one for you? I can't remember.
You know, I don't know. I'm brain farting.
Well, definitely there was some farting involved.
But yeah, so we're really looking for, and that's the other thing too, real quick, about the Blu-ray that I think a lot of people don't. Right now, we 100% control the project, right? So as far as putting any kind of physical version of the film out, that's on our shoulders. So right now, this may be the only way ever to get a physical copy of the movie. And the reason I say that is because whoever distributes the film, we don't know who that's going to be. So it could be, I mean, it could be someone who does physical media, or it could be strictly like just a streaming service, right? And if it becomes just a streaming service, you're not going to be able to get your hands on a physical copy of the film. So this may be the only actual way to have the film physically. And also whatever special features we make, once again, we have that control to put that on the Blu-ray. So, and that's the other thing, whoever puts it out, even if they do physical media, all the special features that we put together, they may not use them all. We may put 10 of them together and they only use 3 of them. And now you have all this extra leftover stuff that you'll never see. So this is really the best opportunity to get essentially what I would call the director's version of the Blu-ray. That's why it's a limited edition.
It's very cool. Very cool. So Eric, let's talk about the screen-worn Hooper polos. I like that. It's the polo and the badge included together for only $40.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They all come in that pretty baby blue. They were. There are no other colors. There are no other colors for people to choose from. They all do have the Hooper Industries logo on the shirt, as do the badges. And there are limited sizes on that.
I was going to say,
do we have a limited on that, PJ, or do we have them all listed? I forget.
So each shirt is listed by its size, and then how many are available is in the actual description.
Yeah, so there you go.
Gotcha.
So,
That's
but yeah, those have all been on screen at one point or another in the film.
Screen worn. I like that word.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So like I said, you have the men and the women with the badge, and that's cool. So let's see. It gives each size down there. There's the 3X, 2X, 4X. Hey, 4X, that might be mine. Just kidding. But you do have you got a couple more things on here, but let's get to this the bundle, which is, if people aren't familiar with some of your other work, they definitely need to be. There is your other movies that you have done. So the Blood Moon Pictures movie bundle, what all is included with that?
It's 13 Slays Till Christmas, which was our last film. Of course, New Fears Eve, that Blu-ray, limited edition Blu-ray, and then it's so Volumes of Blood Horror Stories. We only have a limited amount of physical copies of that movie left. So once again, this one has a limited number that's in the description. And the reason that's a limited number is because if all of these were to get purchased, that's it for the physical copies of Volumes of Blood Horror Stories. They're gone. And we have no plans. We don't have any plans And as far as we know, the distributor who currently licenses the film, they don't have any plans on making any more physical copies. So once those are gone, they're gone forever.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, that's for $50. It's $10 more than Blu-ray, the new movie Blu-ray by itself. You're going to get their last movie, which I actually, have an appearance in. So that makes it valuable on its own.
Shameless.
Plus the volume, plus the
Shameless
blood. Well, it is a pretty cool cameo, and you're welcome. I'm just kidding. So
no, thank you.
They said, no, we need a fat guy. Hey,
PJ did say that.
Yeah. Look, all the fat guys can't be behind the camera. We had to get at least, we try to have diversity in our movies. So
so much love and hate. Oh, looks like we're losing signals. I'm just kidding. Okay, and we're starting to wrap things up. But I guess you have a few of these. There's very limited on this. It's a $75, but it's the meat cleaver murder weapon, and you have two of those left. So that's pretty cool. And there's, but I mean that's obviously screen worn, used in the movie, a prop, actual.
Yeah, and the murder weapons were made by Scott Blake. So
Your Dream Creations. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so these are real deal. These are not like toys. These are the real deal, props.
Well, they're real deal props, but they're not real meat cleavers. I will say that we're not sending you something that you can actually kill someone with.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And then of course there's also the the doctor's bloody murder weapon, and there's two of those as well that can be claimed for $75. That's a really good price. And some scissors that were used in a movie.
The scissors are going to be a unique for people. Not going to give it away, but
and the thing is, there are 105.
What they were used for in the film, I think people would be excited.
Well, and they're autographed. They're autographed by Hannah Fierman too.
And there's only one left, so one's already sold. So that's awesome. So get on that if you're interested in it. And then of course there's the bone drill. There's only one of those available, and that's pretty good price.
It's a real bone drill too.
Wow!
So it's an actual medical drill that they use for like autopsies and surgeries.
That's cool. And then you have a couple of the autographed chairs. We got Dave's autographed chairs. Our chair back. It's just the back, so it's the slip-on part, but still that's pretty cool, and it's autographed. It has their name on it, so that's cool. $150. So you got a couple of those, and you got Jeffrey Reddick, his autographed chair back, and then I guess you have a couple of signed production slates, which are really cool as well.
Right, there's only one left, I believe.
Yeah. That's true. Only one of those left. $150, but those slates are pretty cool. That you have available to get. It's when you go in and click the scene and everything. That's as you need. And there's a lot more stuff on there too. Rose's bloody shoes, some shirts, and a few other things, and some more mixtures of some DVDs and stuff. So definitely, the links are going to be in the description below. We want everybody to go through, check it out, find something you want, what fits your budget, and what is good for you to have a piece of memorabilia from the movie. And get it now before it's gone, because we've only got a few days left, really, right? Like a week or so left, and then your campaign.
Yeah, 8 days.
8 days. That's it. 8 days. Yep. And this is live right now, so there you go. And
no leftover pig intestines in the.
No.
They were pretty.
PJ threw those away.
Yeah, they were ripe by the time that we got done using them. So you don't want them, and they weren't cleaned out. So
they weren't cleaned out. No,
as we were handling
from
them,
the pig.
You could actually see like the juices and chunks and stuff moving through the intestines, like as we were using them. Yeah. It was a good time. Yeah.
There were noises and all kinds of stuff. It was fun times.
You'd be surprised how much
some of the people gagged. Some people gagged at the smell.
I imagine.
Well, that was just whenever Eric walked on set, people would start to gag. So I think he's confused about the.
So much love. So much.
I'm not going to talk about you gagging.
All righty.
Hey, $20 is $20.
That's right.
And on that note, let's see here. Let's see if I can present this.
Start on me, bitch.
Look, just so people are aware, this movie is a horror comedy. So if you get into this kind of back and forth, then you'll really like the movie.
And if you
Exactly.
get into this back and forth, you get whatever.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think your bandwidth is old.
Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me?
No. We can hear you guys just fine. I'm
Oh, I
trying
know.
I'm trying to bring up the pictures
I know.
from the set, and they worked earlier, and for some reason they are not working now. Probably with my little glitch earlier that I probably need to restart my computer for. So anyway, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to share.
Way to go,
any
Tony.
photos.
It's
So
always my fault. Something
not
always
Tony's
glitches when I'm
fault.
around.
Not Tony's fault. Not Tony's fault.
Well, here's the
Hey,
thing.
Tony, are you?
I was gonna say we have a official like production group on Facebook. So if anybody wants to check out pictures, they can just join up there. It's an open group. Ask questions, hit us up, and yeah.
I'll get you to give me that link after this is over with. Send it to me, and then I will add it to the description that people can click on it easily, because this will be up, forever. So people can check it out and check it out. Hopefully, get in on it before everything's gone. And I'm gonna try one more time, see if we can play the trailer one more time before we head out of here. Dun, 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 dun.
So, Tony, are you having a beverage tonight?
No, he's not.
Actually, no. I'm
Water.
going on 9 months sober.
Oh, did I know that? I'm sorry if I didn't know that.
Nope.
All right.
Congratulations.
I didn't really tell anybody.
So,
You
congratulations.
could do a near beer. I'm just so used to you having a beverage.
No.
Yeah,
Water's
I got
good.
to hook up on some good non-alcoholics, but yeah, I had to quit.
Gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so let's go play the trailer one more time. And you guys, since we played it earlier, you guys can talk over it if you want to talk about stuff in it real quick. So feel free to do so.
First off, you're going to see our three main characters. That's Matthew Tishner, Turner Vaughn, and Lily Claire Harvey.
Know about your botched vasectomy.
Yeah, I like Turner a lot. He's a really good guy.
Right. You had a coupon.
They're all three really fun to work with. They all did a great job as well.
Too. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Short of it. We're going to need to trim some fat around here.
What about tomorrow?
There's some stuff with this scene that happens later on that I think people are going to enjoy.
Take away their party. I'm not a monster.
Yeah, seriously, he's not like conniving.
Yeah, if you are a fan of
there was a
movies that have infantile humor, then I think you'll enjoy this movie. There's a lot of really smart, fun humor too, but there's also some. It's a good mix. That's Jeffrey Reddick.
There's our buddy, our Kentucky buddy, Jeffrey Reddick from the Final Destination series.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
My
he's
resolution is to
awesome.
remain dick-free next year.
Weird. I have
So Matthew's shirt right there says "Equal Opportunity Sperm Donor."
Yeah.
And somebody on our YouTube page said something that it was like that's an offensive T-shirt.
in an office.
Huh.
And I tried to think of how it's offensive, and I thought of ways of how it could be offensive. But then the more I thought about it, it's like, well, I guess it's it's kind of ambiguous. However you want to take it.
There you go. And he's I guess if he's supposed to be a jerk character, there you go.
Pro costume.
Me too. Only I wasn't stalked. I was chased.
That scene right there is so cold outside.
3 or 4 people.
It was blowing snow where Matthew was running.
We got a serial killer on our hands.
It was 19 degrees that night.
Right. This shot right here is a really cool shot.
Hey, buddy, you're not supposed to be here this late.
Dave did a really good job during this scene right here.
Business hours.
I love the sound effects you use there, PJ. And there's a bunch of actors that I've seen that have been in some of your previous movies.
Yeah, Ronnie Jonah. Ronnie Jonah is in the trailer. Alyssa Rhodes is in the trailer. Was there any of the others?
Jay Wilson.
Jay, what was he in the trailer?
Jason Crow. Jay is in the trailer. Jason Crow isn't in the trailer, but he did.
Yeah,
Jay's in this movie.
Ronnie
Webb
Jonah was
is
in there.
Yeah, Cody Webb is one of the FBI agents who's in the trailer. Says, "Oh, we got a serial killer on our hands." He's somebody new that we worked with. He nailed the role. Sonia Delormier is in the movie. She came because she was in 13 Slaves Till Christmas, and she
really
was
good in that.
awesome. Yeah, she's just as good in this movie. So,
What was
Yeah,
the other
everybody
girl that played the police officer, and she was one of your victims in Horror Stories.
Oh, I'm from Christmas to
Alyssa?
Dismember.
No,
You're talking
he's talking about Alyssa.
Yeah, Alyssa. Oh, I love her. Man.
Yeah, she was in the trailer. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she did. I mean, obviously,
Alyssa Rhodes.
You had a lot of people that you got that came together. Always more people that want to be in it than you're able to get in, obviously.
Right.
But it's cool that you're able to.
Well, there were several. There were I was surprisingly so many newcomers that came in. Jesse McDonald, Noel, then you've got Lily and Turner and Matthew. What's so funny?
Jesse said,
Jesse.
Nah, they're okay.
Oh, they were okay.
And he says he couldn't see anything.
Yeah, he couldn't.
He really couldn't most of the time. He was we had to add extra oxygen holes to his mask to kind of defog the lenses on the inside. So
that's
I've never seen somebody complain so much in all my life.
Well,
this is hot.
When you get divas,
I'm sweaty.
Yeah.
No,
Eric's not around himself very often. So.
He was a trooper. He was a trooper, man. He finally got him a fan to blow up through the mask, and he was always like, he'd be like, "Dude, you're right. I'm fine. It's all good." What?
So
he looked like he's about to pass out. But
the last little thing I want to ask about, and as we wrap this up, is that I mean, obviously you've done your filming already. It's in the can. You're editing now. So I mean, did the strike coming up that have any effect on you guys at all? The actor strike that's going on. So you basically.
I mean, we were already done before that all started.
Yeah. That was good. And
yeah.
So even indies, I know there's a lot of actors that are like in solidarity. You know,
well, people don't realize who all that affected. That doesn't just affect the writers and the actors. That's the production assistants, the makeup people, the special effects people, the camera operators. It affects everybody that has to do with film. Because if they're not acting and they're not writing, they don't have jobs either.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's if I'm being, I can't think of the word, but
to be honest,
yeah.
That's not true. He doesn't know how to do that.
That Eric and I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation several times, but like you hear about the writers and you hear about the actors and you see the writers and the actors, and I'm not taking anything away from them. I mean, everybody needs to be paid what they're worth, and they definitely, need to be compensated fairly, or how they feel they should be compensated fairly. But the people that nobody are talking about is like everybody, like Eric was, the production assistants, the hairdressers, the wardrobe people, the special effects artists, everybody, the grips, the light, it's like,
I'm glad you brought all them up.
Yeah. It's like all those people.
Yeah. Well,
is definitely.
Let me interrupt you, but let me just say that I get a text message 4 or 5 times a day from my dear friend, Dave Snyder.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and here comes this story.
Bored out of his mind, not working right now.
He actually called me 2 days ago.
This story.
He did. He called me 2 days ago.
He really did, David. He really did, David.
I believe you. All right, guys. Yep. Thanks again for being
here. And now he's my friend.
Well, sure. All righty then.
When I was on the phone with him, I said, "Look,
David said we're leaving.
You can only be my
friend.
For
having us on tonight, Tony. Good seeing you. Shut up, PJ. We're done."
Eric's trying to get it all out of his system because at his age he could die in his sleep.
Guys,
he wants to make sure he gets his 2 cents in.
For being here, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
We love you guys. Your chaos as always.
I love you, David. Love you, Tony.
Love you too.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Man, it's awesome. So please, everybody, please check the subscription below. Click on the links. Do what you can on their Indiegogo campaign to help finish up the film. it's going to be fantastic. And I know once we find out more about it, like once it gets completed and it's up and running and off the circuit, and whether it's going to be, because I know some of the other films are are available on Venmo and places like that, or Amazon. So hopefully one of these days when it gets someplace like that where people can, we want to know all about that. I'll make sure to pass that on to all our viewers and stuff too. So guys, again, all the success in the world. Thank you so much for being here tonight with me and Tony. And I know you guys are going to do great things with this project. And I know you're not done yet, because I guarantee you, PJ and Eric have a lot of things in their mind. What can I?
Oh yeah,
do this, and I'd like to do that.
Thanks for having us on again, guys. Good seeing you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome having you guys. And thanks to everybody for joining us. Tony, thank you so much for putting up with me and my antics, and for me.
Tony!
Look, he held the line, man. He was able to do it when nobody else could. So
thanks for sending me a microphone to the insane asylum I'm in right now.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I know it's the padded room back there. I like it. I like it a lot.
Awesome.
But thanks to everybody for joining us here on Escape Pod.